What's good, Josh? Shagama Kai. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. You know what to do. And for once in his life, Charles Barkley actually says something of substance. Something that actually makes a lot of sense and something that's accurate. Last night he said the Lakers are a two-man show. They have two stars, and everybody else is just a bunch of nothing. And I guess that doesn't include Rajon Rondo because he's so valuable with his playmaking, but everybody else is so on and off. It's just like you get essentially no help for them. Like the Lakers, everybody in the world knows the Lakers lost game 3. Jimmy Butler went crazy, 40-point triple-double, 40, I want to say 12 and 11. The point is he had a triple-double. He went crazy. He looked unstoppable the entire night. The Heat played great defense on AD coming right out of the gate. They had Andre Iguodala, very, very tight on him on defense, and they sent help immediately. He had a lot of early turnovers. Didn't get a lot of shot attempts up, in the beginning of the game. I think he went about 7 minutes without a shot attempt in the first quarter. But yeah, Charles said, Lakers have two stars, and then after that, it's just like, bleh. And, he's right, because look at what look at what Danny Green is doing. He averages about, I think, 5 points in the finals, and he had 11 points in the first game, 3 points in the second game, and 2 points last night. What are we gonna do with numbers like that? What are we gonna do with 5 points a game? Like we signed him to be a sniper. The Lakers signed him to be a 3-point sniper because all teams that LeBron is on has to have good shooters. We signed him to be a 3-point sniper, and I feel like earlier in the regular season he was just fine, but in these playoffs, man, he's just been terrible. Like I don't even know what to say about him. Like they be trashing him on Twitter, and he's complaining about it, but the only way that you can improve it is by playing better. He's just not hitting shots. And it's not like he's not getting open. He's getting open good looks, and he's just not converting them. There's nothing nobody can do about that, but he's got to get better at that. And, man, Kyle Kuzma, son. Man, when the Lakers did that 80 trade and, they got to keep Kyle Kuzma, I know Laker fans were rejoicing. And, I was like, oh, man, they got to keep Kuzma. And, I'm pretty sure in people's minds, because Kuzma was doing, more impactful stuff than Brandon Ingram when he was on the Lakers. I know everybody remember rookie Kuzma, how sensational he was. And, when the Lakers got to keep him in the trade, I was like, yo, dang, they really got a third star just like that, Kyle Kuzma. But that boy has just been struggling. He hasn't, found his niche, found his role next to AD and LeBron. And defensively, he's one of the worst defenders on the Lakers because that's just unacceptable. I've never seen an NBA player bite on more pump fakes than Kyle Kuzma. Late in the game last night, Jimmy Butler he was just standing in the corner. There was an isolation situation, obviously. He pump faked. Do you know Jimmy Butler just shoot contested threes? Or do you know when to go to the mid-range and, do his thing in the mid-range? Exactly. So he bit on the 3-point attempt, and he got a free layup. But let's talk about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, man. Dude, that boy just be bricking. It's not, it's not just one singular guy. Everybody be bricking. It's a shame that our best shooter is Markieff Morris. That's really a shame. Markieff Morris, he always does his thing. He always knocks down threes. Like, I like that about him. But the guys who are supposed to be the designated shooters, KCP and Danny Green, they're just terrible. And I mean, that I wouldn't say like that's the only reason the Lakers lost last night. I put most of the blame on Anthony Davis. I think he had about 15 points. That's not AD like. That's not Anthony Davis like numbers. And he was in foul trouble. I'll give him that. I'll give him the benefit of doubt on that. But he started off the game without shooting the ball at all. He had no shot attempts, like I said, in the first 7 minutes. So it was just like, I'm just saying, if AD plays, regularly how AD plays, there's no way the Lakers lose that game. But because they played such great defense on Anthony Davis, denied him the ball and sent a double at him whenever he touched it, then that's the result that you get. And Tyler Herro, he always does his thing, man. I wish we had a guy like Tyler Herro, man, because he just so confident in his rookie year. And, he didn't have a great game yesterday. He shot about 6 for 18. Nothing too crazy, but he had a lot of big shots in the fourth quarter where it really mattered. He had that late dagger three. He had that and one when he was snarling, and that boy was snarling with no lip. But yeah, he had those late buckets that really meant a lot for the Heat. And, Kelly Olynyk, he was doing his thing. And I remember him back in Boston. He was always pretty good shooter. Not some amazing shooter, but he could knock down shots, knock down a couple for you in the game. But you just gotta ask yourself. Imagine if they had Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo. This probably would have been a blowout if the Lakers playing like that. Because if you watch Laker basketball all season, I've said this many times, but when the Lakers are hitting their threes, they're unstoppable. You can't guard them. The only way you can win is if the Lakers are missing their shots and you're making yours. And that's what happened last night. The Heat were converting a lot of three-point shots. Not, a huge amount, but they were converting more than the Lakers was, that's for sure. And, the Lakers had a lot of turnovers. That's another thing that killed the Lakers, turnovers. A lot of those uncharacteristic turnovers that, the Lakers usually come to games much more, calm and poised. But last night, they just seemed to be out of whack and just sloppy. Like, a lot of early turnovers. I think they had about maybe 8 turnovers in the first quarter. I was like, yo, what's going on? LeBron had a lot of turnovers. That's uncharacteristic for him. But, from now on, I think LeBron needs to guard Jimmy Butler. And, he needs to fight over screens because last night, late in the game, he just allowed, I think, Tyler Herro set a screen on him. And then they just switched. Like, you can't fight over a Tyler Herro screen, bro. Like, come on. And, Jimmy Butler's looking for the mismatch on KCP. KCP is not as strong as LeBron, as tall as LeBron. So, of course, he's going to get back down. He's going to shoot a mid-range over him. That's obvious. That's going to happen. But it's like, there's a lot of things the Lakers could have done better last night. But a lot of things had to go wrong for the Lakers, for the Miami Heat to win. And all of those things went wrong, and the Miami Heat won like that. But, I'm pretty sure in the next game, they're going to come out much more serious because it's easy to come laid back and complacent and just not have your foot on the gas when you're up 2-0. And, you got a cushion. It's like, if we lose this game, it's only 2-1. We still have a chance to go 3-1. LeBron said that. He said, we still have a chance to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. Those are hard to come back from. So the Lakers win tomorrow. It's pretty much a done deal, honestly. But yeah, they should come out much more aggressive. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to get Anthony Davis more involved earlier in the game. Get him a lot of post touches and just, a lot of pick and roll with LeBron, I assume. And they should just be overall a lot better, much more poised. I know Frank Vogel is not going to tolerate that defensive, performance from them. Letting a man drop a 40-point triple-double. That's unacceptable. You can't win games like that. And I imagine Bam would play, And, earlier he said it's up to the medical staff. So I think he sat out enough games because the injury, they said, it wasn't even that serious. He looks fine to me. I don't know about Dragic, though. He had a much more serious injury. I doubt that he plays, but if he does, great for the Heat. But I'm just happy that we have a more competitive series now. Because the Lakers win that game, the series is over. Every game after that is just a formality because you know what the outcome is. But at least this, if the Heat win tomorrow, it's 2-2. It's a whole different ball game. It was a whole different ball game now that it's 2-1. But I'm just glad the Heat, and congratulations to Jimmy Butler, 40-point triple-double, the first player to ever outscore, out-rebound, out-assist LeBron in a finals game. That's historic. First 40-point triple-double in a finals win. The third 40-point triple-double in the finals period, other than LeBron and Jerry West. So he had a historic night last night. And he talking about, oh, my best game was when I was 17 and I played against 45-year-olds. That's nonsense. That's a complete lie. He knows last night was the biggest game in his career and the biggest game, in his life. Not just an NBA career, in his life. But yeah, I think the Lakers should come out much more aggressive next game and overall just win the game and take a commanding 3-1 lead. And after that, all the games are formality at that point. There's no 3-1 comebacks happening to the Lakers, especially if it's the Heat. And that's it. Lakers in 6, like I said. Alright, y'all. If you stayed to the end of this video, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.